GolfNewsRI presents the Golf Dudes Podcast. Here are the dudes. And welcome back to the Golf Dudes Podcast, presented by Lynx Drinks. Lynx Drinks is best known for their transfusion in a can. The transfusion is vodka, ginger ale, and grape juice, all stirred up into one refreshing beverage for you to enjoy. Check out Lynx Drinks at country clubs and liquor stores near you. And once again, good luck to our friends at Lynx Drinks this weekend over at the Connecticut Golf Show. If you're going, be sure to stop in and say hello, and we'll be certainly hanging out with them in about a month or so at the Northeast Golf Show, which is being held March 25th to the 27th at Gillette Stadium. It's actually inside the Patriots practice facility in the bubble there, right in front of you when you drive into the Patriot Place. So we're looking forward to that. We haven't quite started planning yet for it, but we're getting to that point within the next few days to a week, and we'll let you know what we're planning on doing. We're going to try to do some content, thoughts, and other things coming up within the next week once Rich and I sit down and plan it out, as now it's about a month away. So we're excited for that, but we'll get to that later. What also is exciting from a content standpoint is this PGA Tour versus Saudi stuff. And like I said before the break, I literally just have written down on my little rundown here, chaos, because that's pretty much what has emerged over the last week, or the last 2 days. Today, I'm not even sure what time frame you want to put on it, but it's pretty much chaos. And this whole tournament at Riviera is obviously fascinating. It's great golf, but it's all under a dark cloud of, is this guy leaving? Is that guy leaving? Jason Kokrak, I didn't see it, but supposedly has Golf Saudi on his bag. He's supposed to be one of the guys that are leaving, according to Dan Rappaport. You have the Phil Mickelson stuff. Apparently, Mickelson did a book with Alan Shippuck, who's a relatively well-known golf writer, and he continued to trash the PGA Tour and saying things that apparently don't seem to be really true or make much sense. People are pushing back on them. You have Justin Thomas today in his press conference. He trashed Phil Mickelson. He was trashing Phil Mickelson. Other guys are standing by the PGA Tour. Other guys are clearly on their way out, like Adam Scott, Mickelson. DeChambeau supposedly is on his way out. Lee Westwood and others. So it's just complete chaos. The whole thing is chaos. Rich, I don't know where exactly you wanted to start, because it's just one big thing of chaos, but you can pick up on any of those 56 points that I just made, because it's all chaos.
So we learned this morning that Rahm is sticking with the PGA. Mm-hmm. He made an actual statement about it. Like you said, JT's calling these guys clowns, so obviously we know where he stands. I don't even know. I don't even really know how to address this, but they say they have 20 players. I would be willing to make a hefty bet that Bryson and Phil are 1 and 2. They got their, their fan getters, or however, I can't even think of the name right now. They got their number getter as far as their 2 superstars. Not so much Phil being a superstar, but like the star power of it. Today you said Kokrak came out and said that the Golf Saudi thing. He's also best friends with Pat Perez. Given the way Pat Perez is playing the past month or so, I don't think he's going to leave the tour. But that's you think about that too. He's best friends with Kokrak. Their wives are best friends.
Is Pat Perez playing? I'm sorry. Is Pat Perez playing good or bad? I don't follow.
He's playing great. He's been playing great the past month.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, he top 10 at Pebble. No, two top 10s and like a top 20 or something like that in his last 3 starts or something like that. So, and I think I forget what it was Torrey. I think Torrey Pines, he was like tied for 3rd, I think, or something like that. So yeah, he's playing great. I don't really see him leaving, but then again, his best friend might leave, and if anybody knows, Pat Perez is a big personality in the PGA Tour. He's not afraid to say what he thinks, among other things. So we'll see. Adam Scott, whatever, go, leave. I don't think the PGA is going to really miss you that much. Lee Westwood, I wouldn't really care if Lee leaves, but the fact that he's had his last 2 years, I think, have been absolutely phenomenal.
He's had a bit of a resurgence.
He's had a great resurgence the past like 3 years, whatever it is. So I'd be kind of a little bit sad to see him go. Just given the fact that I used to watch him as I was growing up, and it's nice to see him, the quote unquote older man get a little bit of revenge on the board. Trying to think of who else. Poulter would be a good get too for them.
And then what about Henrik Stenson? His name is now being tossed around.
I guess. I mean, Henrik Stenson hasn't been a thing for what?
Since his British Open win, right? Since he beat Phil in the British Open.
Was that 16, right? 17?
He hasn't done much since then that I know of.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really heard it. I've heard his name this past season, but like I haven't heard him in like 3 or 4 seasons. So I don't really think that's much. Poulter would be a good one. I think they said that they offered him 35 million to go over there. And I mean that pales in comparison to Bryson's, what was it, 165 million?
Yeah. Something ridiculous.
But also you got the Bruins just scored. Thank you. That pales in comparison. I mean, obviously he does not hold a candle to what the traffic, the attitude, the comments, all that crap that Bryson brings. If he even stays healthy, we can talk about that too. But yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to bet Bryson, Phil, probably Kokrak. I mean, that they're not even in the same classes as the other two. He's not even in the same class as the other two. But I would look for another, maybe like a Poulter or a Lee Westwood, or none of the young guys are going to go. Schauffele, Neiman, Cantlay, none of these guys are going to go. So I'm not going to lie. If this does, and the report is that the league's going to start the week of the players.
Correct.
Which is absolutely thug gangster of the Saudi League, because that's like their unofficial first major of the year. I think that is so gangster. It's going to force people to choose because they want to see the new product, but they also want to see the players. But I think they'll be more interested in the new product to see what it is. You know what I mean? I think it's absolutely genius by the Saudis, or by Greg Norman, should I say?
No, the Saudis. That's fine. The thing is, so I don't know if anything's been announced. If I missed not that I get the Saudi League press releases, but if I missed anything, where's their TV coverage going? Like, I
don't know who has their rights. I'm not gonna. I have no idea.
Deal? Is Golf Channel going to show the Saudi Golf League and then cut out to go to the PGA Tour? That'd be funny.
I would not be surprised if an outlet like DAZN, DAZN.
I never heard of it, but okay.
They have a lot of the Canelo Alvarez fights and stuff like that. A lot of WBC events. Maybe I can't even think. I can't even speak. A streaming sports service, something like that. Obviously, I don't think anybody on cable is going to take a chance on that. I mean, even the lowest of the low sports channels wouldn't take a risk on that. So I would probably look for it. I'm going to look right now. I would assume it's probably going to be on a streaming service. And that streaming service is going to have to give a trial away. Nobody's going to pay for a streaming service that has a what's it called? An experimental league on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So that's what I'm interested to see what how they're going to get their content out. The other part of this too, well, there's a few more. Obviously, there's a lot of parts of this. Is these guys that are leaving, like Phil, Adam Scott, as Rich drops out video wise. But a lot of these guys, one question that has come up, especially with Phil making all these comments and trashing the PGA Tour. He said he had an insane quote that I'm reading to Alan Shipnuck. I guess they wrote a book.
He was all fired up.
So he has this insane quote. He's talking about the Saudis. He's saying they killed Washington Post reporter and U.S. resident Jamal Khashoggi. I hope I pronounced his name right. I'm sure I didn't. But anyway, they killed Khashoggi and have a horrible record on human rights. Mickelson continued in an interview that Shipnuck said took place in November. So that's just a couple months ago. They execute people over there for being gay. Knowing all this, why would I even consider it? Because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to reshape how the PGA Tour operates. So that was just an insane quote to me, and it's one of many insane quotes. Apparently, Mickelson helped hire a lawyer. You sent me that article today.
Yeah,
Golf
what are
Digest
we
reported
doing
he
here?
hired a lawyer. So I guess my question
crazy.
is, and not that I was ever the biggest Phil Mickelson fan, but I certainly respected what he does for the game, what he's done for the game. What does this do to? I mean, his legacy is his legacy tarnished? He's already in the PGA Tour, the World Golf Hall of Fame. They're going to kick him out.
No, I don't think it does.
I was half joking, but
I don't think it does, because you and I have been following along, but maybe some of our people haven't who follow us. The PGA is very anal about their what's it called? Their media rights.
Mm-hmm.
We've posted stuff on the website on our website and posted stuff on Twitter and social media that has been taken down because we don't have permission to share it because it's the rights of the PGA Tour. They hold these guys hostage. Type in PGA Tour media rights or something like that in Google, and you can spend a day reading about how these guys are not allowed to even sell themselves, like their own websites, their own branding, stuff like that. Like they are so the PGA is so uptight about their media rights. It's insane. Now that takes a lot of pressure off the players because the PGA does their marketing for them. But they are very very anal about their media rights because they pay a lot for them. And Phil goes into the article that I think it was on Golf Digest about how they have no rights when they're on tour. So to a lot of guys, especially guys trying to branch out and trying to make money, that's going to make them possibly turn to other leagues.
Yes, but the same token, the PGA Tour wouldn't be a league if they didn't take control of the media rights, because then everyone's going to watch their own streams. Who's going to watch, the PGA Tour coverage? All the leagues are similar. Everyone owns
not as bad
rights.
as the PGA.
Well, the PGA Tour is single.
They're real uptight.
Yeah, so it's all obviously fascinating. So you don't think that tarnishes Phil's legacy?
I don't think so. I mean, he's what, 50? He's 51, 50. He takes this deal. He's not going to be able to play on the senior tour, and I feel like he probably could crush every senior tour record there is, which would be nice. He could probably break that in like 2 years. But I mean, I doubt he really cares about that.
Clearly, clearly he does not.
No, I mean he's far and away the better of the golfers in that league. So yeah, no, I don't think it tarnishes it at all.
I mean, it is interesting. Actually, Tiger was asked about this yesterday during his press conference. Wednesday during his press conference, and he said that media rights has always been kind of an issue that we're trying to work out with the tour, and we've had meetings about it and different things. So, but like you said, it's all about having conversations and constantly trying to make it better for the tour, but also making it better for them as individuals. So, it is interesting. Now, the PGA Tour, seemingly in response to this, has altered a lot of because you sent me an article earlier. I actually saw it tweeted. that the PGA Tour is
They're-
actually is sweeping changes to the tour and things that they're going to do differently, including more team golf events and a return to a calendar year schedule. So there's not going to be any wraparound, forget soda, hiccups, wraparound schedules anymore. So all this, in theory, would seem to be a response to what's going on with the Saudi Golf League. So I just read the article a few minutes ago. But what do you think of the PGA Tour's changes and the continued changes that are going to be probably made because of the threat of the Saudi Golf League, which now seems pretty imminent?
Yeah, no, they're absolutely. I said this a while ago on one of our shows. I said there has to be more team golf. They got the Zurich in was it TPC Louisiana, I think.
Yep.
That's a fantastic event. The team golf aspect is awesome. I forget how it goes. Like each format goes for the 4 days, but that's a fantastic event. You can listen in onto the guys and see who hits which shot and see how like one player might play a better draw than the other guy, or the one guy can hit it farther, especially on like an alternate shot format, stuff like that. But it's really fascinating. I think they should have maybe 3 team events throughout the year. That doesn't mean everybody has to play in all of them, but like give golfers 3 options to play with partners. You know what I mean? That's what I think. I think the team aspect of golf is fascinating. I actually like when we play and member guests and stuff like that. As much as the alternate shot sucks, it actually makes good shots that much better when you play with a partner and you're leaning on your partner and stuff like that. So I like that aspect of it.
Do you think in the future we're going to have a Ryder Cup type event of the PGA Tour players versus the Saudi Golf League?
Imagine that, or like another, or like a Ryder Cup President's Cup version. That would be awesome. That would be. I mean, I don't really think it'd be very fair because obviously they're gonna, besides Bryson, they're gonna have a lot of older guys. Obviously, like I said, a lot of the young guys are going to stay with the PGA. So maybe down the road, like 10 years down the road, if it's still around, then maybe, yeah. But that would be definitely kind of cool.
You never know. Of course, that would mean that the PGA Tour and the Saudi League actually have to like get along, and that doesn't.
I was just going to say they have to coexist.
That doesn't seem like it's happening
No.
very much. So either way, it's complete chaos. The whole thing is in chaos. No one knows who knows what news is going to break tomorrow. There'll be some other report tomorrow. If they do launch at the same weekend of the players, that would be a real boss move by Greg Norman. That'd be a really slap in the face. But they certainly could. It sounds like that's what was reported. So who knows what's going to happen? It should be interesting. There's certainly no lack of content. That's for sure. And then we'll see what other players do. Dustin Johnson supposedly was offered. All these guys are offered. So it'll be interesting to see when that list is actually unveiled of who these players supposedly are that are joining this, that are jumping ship. So who knows what's to come. But certainly for us as content people, it's certainly there's no shortage. So